Hello everyone, this is LimAK here, and I'm playing a little bit of Sins of a Stellar Empire. So the reason I'm coming back to this game, which was released in 2008 I believe, is because this was recently put out on Steam, and it was probably one of my favorite strategy games of recent history. And this is also probably going to be one of the most absurd videos I've ever tried doing, because Sins of a Stellar Empire is classed under like the 4X strategy banner, so it is very big in scale, and therefore this 15-minute video is going to seem pretty redundant. But I'm just going to go into a new game for a moment just to show off basic interface stuff, and then we'll go into a game which is, maybe 5 hours or so in. So there are 3 races, and for the most part there are pretty big similarities between all of them, but there are some pretty significant differences. So this is where it starts out. I have my home planet in this star system, and a frigate factory, and there are a bunch of asteroids around here which I can use to get metal and crystals, so I'm going to do that first. Now there's a lot of other interface stuff here. This is like the main bar which shows, all buildings, a notification bar down here. This is like resource trading. You can get bounty to send pirates towards your enemy, and this is the number of capital ships I can build and the fleet supply that I have available to me. And I played this for about a minute, and my guy's just starting to build those crystal extractors. So this is also where you upgrade your planet, so this means I can get more population on my planet and I get higher taxes, which gives me more credits. And I should build a capital ship factory as well, but I don't have enough crystals, so let's just buy one of that. And so I'm just clicking on these, and it's actually, placing the building for me. But if this is the auto place structures, so you can place each one of your buildings manually. For the most part, I found that it's not really worth your while to do that. And one of the fun things in single player is I can up the game speed to about ×6, and this will help at least speed through some of it. And let's build these, which are scouts. And I'll tell them to auto explore, and you as well.
Scouts have discovered
no,
a
I don't want those.
planet.
I want some actual fighters.
Scouts have discovered a colonizable planet. Frigate
so this
ready.
is one of the smaller randomly generated maps.
Frigate
and,
ready.
Haven't even seen
Frigate
the enemy.
Ready. Frigate ready.
But yeah, you can see I now have this
Scouts
small fleet here.
A colonizable planet.
You go there.
An excellent plan.
Actually, the entire fleet go there. Let's see what my scouts are doing. What speed am I playing? Yeah, let's do 2 times game speed.
Space.
Yeah. You can zoom in pretty far in.
Standing by.
Sorry. But, I think one of the cool things about this is that there is a cinematic mode, so you can just do that and it turns off a lot of the icons and stuff. It's not, obviously useful to play the game this way, but it's quite cool because you can actually remove some of the menu stuff as well. But let's turn that off and let's zoom back out to a more sensible view. For the most part, you're going to be playing from about here. You generally get a good overview of everything that's going on. So on. Also, when you first colonize it, you can see I've got a negative tax income rate. That's because it's underdeveloped, so you build civilian infrastructure and that will sort that problem out.
What would you ask of me?
Also, this is cool because it tells you roughly, where you are ranking-wise. So you can see I'm quite behind on research, and I'm worse on metal and crystal. So let's build one of these, which gives me the ability to do some research. So let's build one of those.
Structure.
And here is the tech tree. Sorry, here is one of the tech trees. This is all the military stuff. This is to do with defenses. Empire is sort of like a miscellaneous stuff to do with your economy, spreading culture, trade, and then manipulation is a lot to do with diplomacy, which is currently the latest expansion. The copy that's been released on Steam recently is Sins of Empire Trinity, which is the original plus the 2 micro expansions, Entrenchment and Diplomacy. And it's a cool game, but as you can see, it's not really about micromanagement. I mean, you do have abilities here, which will come into play later, but for the most part, it's a pretty macro-oriented game. It's about, you know, choosing the right research, balancing your economy, and choosing the right army composition, more than, you know, EPM. Right. You can see I'm out of supply here, and I have this research, which allows me to increase my supply cap. But by increasing my supply cap, I incur an upkeep. So, you know, it's a balancing act of how much military do you want, and how much money are you going to get in, and can your entire global economy actually support having an army that large. But yeah, it's pretty much going to keep going like this. I suppose my enemy's probably around here or so. But this is about, I think,
missiles loaded,
15 or so planets and 1 star. So right now, being zoomed out this far doesn't help that much. But let's load up into this, which is a 10-player comp stomp. It's about 4 hours in. And you can pretty much see I'm nowhere near to finishing this game. It's, you know, there's still a long ways to go. So I'm still this light teal color, and this is sort of, you know, all of these guys are all my team. That is everything that belongs to the enemy. We sort of just about secured this area, and yeah, you can see that this is kind of crazy, and it's awesome.
Say no more.
This is my beautiful fleet.
A friendly fleet has arrived.
You see, this game, you know, it's not the most taxing of games when there's not that many people are playing, but when you have 10 teams, each with fleets roughly about this size, your computer starts to chug. But well, actually, let's get to it. Let's see what's going on. Right now, it looks like we're trying to attack here. I don't think my allies are going to have much luck. This whole sidebar at the side is just, you know, a quick way of reaching most of your units. So I'm going to send all my guys to go to that star there. And research-wise, I think I'm pretty much sorted. I don't think there's much more here I need to get. You can see I have, like, everything that has this grey border around I've pretty much researched. So I think I've done all the research I need to. There are a few odds and ends here, but it's not super important. Instead, I shall go to this planet up here, which I've set up as a little shipyard. So I've got a bunch of frigate factories. And this is a star base. It is a very, very powerful defensive emplacement that can annihilate pretty sizable fleets all by itself. Every one of the races has its own unique way of dealing with them, though. So there are like dedicated building destroyers, but once one of those star bases is backed up by a fleet, it suddenly becomes very easy to hold locations.
Scrying a planet has revealed nothing.
And it becomes a little bit of attrition to try and get through.
A friendly fleet has arrived.
And
our time has come.
I have a nice small contingent of capital ships here, as well as smaller ships as well. But yeah, like I said, generally you're going to be playing from back here. You don't really need to zoom in that much, only when you want to use your abilities. If I can pick something that actually has an ability. And if those want allies, I would totally show them off.
Speak your mind.
Alright, let's just go there. One cool thing is that you can actually right click that and they'll start to move all as a group. Well, they'll warp out of this area. I actually probably should have mentioned that earlier. This is the system's gravity well. So generally you're not out here in random space. You are inside this circle, or roughly inside this circle, around one of either like the star, planet, asteroid belt, and so on.
Finished. Our time has come.
And you sort of phase jump in between each of these areas.
Allied reinforcements have joined the battle.
Oh, just move. Being boring.
Phase jump underway. Phase jump underway. Phase jump underway.
Well, I think it's pretty evident why I said,
Power to jump drive.
you know, 15 minutes of this game is not really an accurate depiction of how this game is supposed to be played.
Our fleet has arrived.
Fantastic. Ah,
All power to jump drive. Allied reinforcements have joined the battle. Our vengeance is yours.
it's not really much of an enemy fleet here. We're just sort of annihilating them as they run away. Come on, stand and fight. You know you want to.
Unity, light our path.
Actually, my fleet is kind of bigger than theirs and fully capable of kicking their ass.
Allied forces need our assistance.
So I just leveled up, and I gotta pick another ability. And, you know, I tend to not do any micro while I play this, so every single one of my abilities is on auto cast.
Allied reinforcements
It matters a
have
bit
joined the
more if I didn't have these upgrades here, which increases the amount of
friendly fleet has
antimatter, which is
arrived.
basically mana in this game.
battle. Our vengeance is yours.
There's the bombers, those are fun to follow around.
Defilers encroach upon us.
Yeah. I also generally play Vizare.
Friendly fleet has arrived.
This team, the Advent, is a bit more of this swarmy race, so your units are a little bit lighter, a little bit cheaper, and they take up less supply, but you can cap a lot more of them, so each one of these bomber squads have like five guys. Actually, I thought they were more than that. Yeah, like the fighter squadron just has like 9, whereas
Friendly fleet has arrived.
like the
Direct
tech, I
our
think,
wrath.
have 6 per squadron, so you could just build hundreds of these. Well,
The future
could
is
do.
ours.
and, you know, 4 hours in, I've got,
An allied capital ship has been destroyed.
you know, that much supply,
Price on our head has
and
increased.
it goes all the way up to 2,000, so I've still got a ways to expand still.
Defilers encroach upon us.
And
We
yes,
sense
this
approaching
game does make
invaders.
my computer chug. Look at this.
Pirate raiders have departed.
But I think that's pretty much all I'm going to be able to show of this game. It's a pretty
All bounty has
fantastic
been
strategy
depleted.
game.
Your presence
It's
is strong.
definitely something that I adore at the time and still love playing
Allied
now.
reinforcements have joined the battle.
And it's really worth checking out. It's probably going to be pretty overwhelming for most people, but if you're into like pretty deep strategy games, there's definitely something in this for you. So anyway, this is LimAK.
Defilers encroach
See you guys.
upon us.
Thanks for watching.